fans actually would have been behind Moist. So cool to see a lot of people rallying behind Team Liquid now as we get another best of 5. Both these teams fighting to stay in the upper bracket. Spaceman and James, take it away.
Well, it's the El Splashico. What better way to do it than with James Bot himself? Last series, it was interesting. Let's just talk about it, right? Moist go 3-1 against Hogan mode. Sloppy defenses at times, but very good counterattacks. And Joyo and Juicy really stepped up and answered the call. Can they do the same thing against Liquid? That's the big question.
And I wonder if they'll be able to pull off those infield passes like they did against Hogan mode. Because, you know, Liquid is such a speedy team. They're so fast, even at the midfield, that it really makes it more difficult to make those passing plays because they're so quick up to the challenge. Sometimes, you know, it forces you to go for solo plays a bit more. But this Team Liquid squad has just proven over and over and over again that they're a titan in Europe. So I do think that even though I picked Moist, Liquid are the favorite here.
Qualification spots require a top 3 finish from Liquid this weekend. For Moist, a gauntlet of a run it would require. But so far, they've moved through Hogan mode. Can they do the same against one of Europe's best? A very interesting shot off the start as Liquid will hold their horses on the back line. And Joya will try to find the all clear on that front as Cash sends it towards the ceiling. And Oski finds the clear. So very quickly, a couple of opening trades, but you're looking at Moist to kind of keep that sustained offense upfield like we've seen. For Liquid, just trying to find possessions to start.
Oh, and then saw a flick attempt. A Chronic will get a touch as well. This will make it an awkward ball for Joyo. First touch out. Cash will actually help him. Atto for the 50. A Chronic will stay upfield. And a Chronic actually nabs that corner boost as well. Joyo trying to make the solo play. Does get a good rebound, but there's that challenge at the midfield. Atto making no wasted time, but a wide open net. That one didn't go on target. If Joyo throws that towards net, would have beat the defense. So an early chance and a miss. I'm gonna have to go check out the perspective right now from Cash. Cash was reversing and was not expecting such a big flick from Oski.
I mean, when are you going to expect a musty from the back line? Probably not very often. And that's what the dangers of Liquid bring to the table. Not only is just the mechanics short, but the creativity of this team, how they can maneuver with possession on their own side of the field. It's very different than you get from the rest of Europe. Maybe against the likes of Vitality, sure, but a Chronic start, just going to try to stop the bleeding and keep themselves back up to the midfield. Has been all the possession to start here. Juicy giving it to Cash, and he'll give the 1 and 2 into the corner. But for Moist coming into this, like, what are the keys to victory going against Liquid, knowing how good Liquid are mechanically, how good they are with their spacing? What do you need to see out of Moist in this series?
I think, honestly, we'll need to see Joyo start to land those demos effectively, and then hope that Juicy is passing it out to Cash to go for some of them double taps. Because when you go for a double tap, it buys time for your teammate to land the bump and to land that demo. And that type of play is a play we see so often now. And against a defense like Liquid, sometimes, you know, the demo is the best option because mechanically, if you leave them on the field, there's a good chance they're going to make the stop. But we'll see what Moist wants to do. They have so many tools in their toolkit, and sometimes you just get in a rhythm and certain things start working until a team makes an adjustment. But so far, Liquid still looking like the better team. We saw a couple backflip musty attempts. We saw Joyo try to do it off the sidewall, but it was the shot from Oski that has resulted in the only goal of the game. And Team Liquid, they just remind you of how much of a threat each and every one of these players are.
Yeah, it's been favorable bounces at the midfield for Liquid, but it's been really good reads from Moist. Doing a nice job of just cutting down those long stretches you see often. Juicy had to make that read very quickly before Chronic got dangerous, and Cash tried to hold on to possession, but Atao will again send it on its way with no boost, still keeping the play alive, winning the second touch into the rebound before Joyo scoops this one up and moves on his way with the dominance. The infield pass is there out in front, just a little bit too far on the fingertips, and Oski cuts it down.
And it was the right idea, and that's a big block from Juicy. The bounce gets dunked by Cash. But you saw Moist with the right idea, but the execution, even if it's just a little bit off, sometimes it's a matter of feet that make the difference between a ball that you can score and one where you're giving up a counterattack. And now you see the counterattack coming on from Liquid. The demo blocked by Cash. Cash, the genius defensive play, wrapping up and around, predicting that shot. So Moist stay in it, but will they have enough firepower to break through this defensive line of Liquid?
Cash knew that shot was going near post. Great job getting up in front. Here comes Atao, the double tap, and of course it's good. Atao sends it on its way as Liquid march upfield and capitalize.
Oh, and then you can see a Chronic faking like he had the flip, ends up getting that little touch, and in the air, taking it off his hood was Atto. And a beautiful play. Team Liquid, I don't want to say they're making it look easy, Spaceman, but they're looking comfortable. Liquid are looking quite comfortable right now.
Yeah, they don't look like they have to work overtime to clear the ball away, to hold on to their possession. They've gotten their looks, and they've capitalized. 2-0 lead, 30 to play. But for Moist, it hasn't been a bad game won by any stretch. They've just gone up against the defense of Liquid, and granted, the counterattack is also the same. You're going to have to fight for possession at the midfield against this Liquid roster. Moist have had more than their fair share of chances, but it just really hasn't capitalized too much. Granted, it's only game one, still best of 5. Both teams in the winner bracket. Nobody getting knocked out any time here is a Chronic. We'll try to put this game away, but I think it's all done and dusted at this point. James, that's a very strong showing and a pretty easy statement from Liquid in game one.
And a bit, I think, you know, when you're looking at it, a little bit sloppy for Moist at times. Even on that final play, you saw Cash was trying to get the first touch control, and he wasn't able to control the ball, and he wasn't able to get the corner boost. It just seemed like there's a bit of a lack of precision there for Moist. You even saw like where they have the right idea. Like that play is the right idea. It's the right idea from Cash to take that off the wall and control it. But if you do it perfectly, you can even control it down to the ground. You can dribble the ball over to the corner boost and sometimes take it up the wall and start the counterattack. But he just wasn't able to mechanically execute it. And the same on the passing play as well. So a little bit of a struggle for Moist, but Team Liquid are just that good. And Leaf, I believe we got some updates from you.
Nope.
Oh, no, we don't. Oh, sorry. My bad.
It's okay. You know what? No, there are no updates needed. You know why? Because this series is still exciting and going. That's why, James.
That's true.
Because Liquid and Moist are, of course, the El Splash Go of Europe. If you're just joining us, you missed one series so far in Maine. Don't miss more. Don't be like that. But this is a big weekend for Europe. We've talked about it ad nauseum. We're going to kick this dead horse again. For a couple of teams, you have to make top 3, top 4 finishes to qualify for the major.
The only horse I see out there is Team Liquid, and that horse is anything but dead. In fact, that horse is trampling.
It's trampling.
It is trampling Moist specifically. That game one, it was a bit of a beatdown. That is Team Liquid. It's all 3 of them are a threat. We didn't really say Oski's name that much.
Yeah.
And so if Oski gets activated as well, this could be quite a lot to deal with for Moist.
That's the scary part. It's like when Oski eventually gets activated, what does the threat look like? What's the assessment here? Contingency plan if you're Moist, hope for the best, try to get back upfield, put a shot on net. That's maybe the 1, 2, 3 step you're going to have to find. Because so far, Liquid had their way in game one, but they clean up the mistakes for Moist. You're probably looking at a different series result. Let's keep it going, a 1-0 lead. Can you build upon it? Team Liquid trying to get back to the midfield, but here comes Joyo, so threatening and lethal in the dominance in the prior series against Hogan Mode. And to start, he's still finding boost in the corner.
And there you saw Juicy wanted to get the double tap. Cash battling through the bump to get a 50 as well. Tries to pinch it and does get a bump on a Chronic, but a Chronic battles back through. The double commit, now a save from Oski. You see Moist getting scrappy, almost battling that goal through. But unfortunately for Moist, the defense from Team Liquid barely holds on.
And this is where the hitbox of the dominance can be so important for Moist. Just scooping it off the backboard, fighting for more 50s. What a double tap from Juicy as Joyo tried to set it up for his teammate. But here comes Team Liquid yet again with the defense.
And it's plays like that where sometimes you can bait the double commit. And if they both jumped for that, that would have been a goal. But Team Liquid keeping their composure. You send one player up for the challenge. You keep one low. And that time it prevented a goal. So not only offensively are Team Liquid playing well and with poise, defensively also.
Now, James, when you're a team like Moist, granted you can be as explosive as Liquid, you have the firepower and offense, the mechanics as well. When you're playing Liquid and they're kind of turtled up on defense, they're just throwing numbers at the ball and they're finding these clears. How do you break a team like Liquid down? What do you do if you're Moist other than infield passes? Is there an approach they need to change?
I mean, there's a few strategies you can try to do. One is boost starve if they're staying in net, and then just keep the ball high on the backboard to where they eventually can't get up and challenge it, and then you go top shelf. The other one is demos. Those are the two strats that I would go to personally against a team that's turtling up. But then also you could go for those solo plays and try to play a rebound. But I think against a team like Liquid, the solo plays, it's a lot harder to make that work. I think demos are probably the most successful strat that you can take. But there's a nice infield pass, but there we have it again. Team Liquid, they send the house, but they get the stop.
Would love maybe some bumps on the goal line, but that triple commit leads way to what this has become, which is a chronic from the ceiling. And GC will make the catch. Does so nicely, getting bumped off the play and bullied for the moment. Tao just being a nuisance at midfield. Here comes Joyo, popping it over 2. Cash will get the second call. That's going to bounce off the bar. And back out to Juicy, to Cash. Oh, inside the box. It's a beautiful read, but better defense all the way around from Liquid.
This is a much better looking game, though, for Moist. Joyo masking the flip reset as long as possible. Tried to get the flip reset into the bump, but didn't have the position. Now we see Liquid calling for a pause right here. And that is kind of tragic. Good thing but to be fair, everyone at home cannot see the call for a pause. The call for the pause came for that shot. But that was that was a well-timed pause, I will say that.
Yeah, Joyo's letting them know about the placement of that shot real quick. Just play till the whistle for sure. But listen, we'll figure out obviously what's going on. Granted, the conversation that gets brought back down to earth real quick is of course the baseline of Team Liquid's defense has kept them in this game. They have triple committed at times, but it's worked out. Moist have had opportunities, but you hit on it a little bit. Whether it's physicality or trying to work some of those solo plays, there needs to be a balance here for Moist that we haven't seen yet in this series. And if that does come to fruition, do we see a different result here, James?
Oh, certainly. I mean, even in the last game, there were just a couple plays where that precision was just off. But I think the other thing to point out, against a team like Liquid, you're forced to play at such a fast pace that a lot of times, you know, when you're going for that pass across field, you have to hammer that ball. Like you're hitting that ball 70, 80 miles an hour to try to get it to a teammate so that they can get a shot that's even more powerful. So even if you're just a little bit off, the pace is so fast on the ball, your teammate doesn't really have time to react. Your teammate is at the mercy of the passer to put that right on your nose. So Liquid makes it hard for teams. Moist has been hanging on, and in this game, I think they've had actually a little bit more offense than Liquid, but it just shows you that, you know, Liquid is a multi-dimensional team. They can play the crazy offense game. They can play team passing. They can play demos. They can play the solo plays, but also they can turtle up on defense and really make it tough for teams. You know, Team Liquid is one of the best defensive teams out there. They're so good at shutting teams down. So it's just, you know, this is a standard Team Liquid series and a standard Team Liquid game where they're always in it. And, you know, you just don't know how they're going to approach it. But so far, Moist, they haven't been able to crack through this armor of Team Liquid.
Liquid are very good at pulling teams apart. Moist are very good at shutting teams down. We'll see how this one gets underway. Off the kickoff from 137. Resets back. We're back into it. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back in. It's been fun, but can it continue? And it just might. All right.
And honestly, it's like a Greek tragedy. The pause with the ball on the goal line, you unpause, and then Team Liquid scores. If you're a Moist fan, you know, you might be tearing up right now. And if you might even be crying. I know. I bet Rizzo, if you'll go over and watch his coast. Oh, but those tears get wiped away. Joyo blasted that ball in.
Suck that tear back up. Get it back in there. It's fine. There's dry eyes across the house. You're good. I think he's happy now. Dry eyes.
Dry eyes, and you know, you got your tissue there to wipe those tears away. And it's another passing play from Juicy. You really have to highlight the effectiveness of Juicy's infield passes. Even in the last series, he had that pass down to Cash, who hit it off the bounce.
Yeah.
I love that selfless play from Juicy. I think every team really needs that player that excels in that. But now you have Oski, who gets activated, Spaceman.
Yeah, he excels in gasoline in the air, just burning the ozone and scorches the entire defense of Moist. All right, that's an interesting way to get off this kickoff. What was 4 minutes of Rocket League comes down to a pause and a 30-second spree of 3 goals.
And another goal off the kickoff. Things go from bad to worse for Moist. Juicy getting pummeled off that kickoff, and then a perfect shot. 73 miles an hour, 117 kilometers per hour. That ball was belted lower corner.
The fun part, the quirky thing about this is that we've had 4 goals in about 17 seconds. So history says if we're doomed to repeat, there's a chance for Moist to make this winnable. Who knows if it'll happen, but you need to swing upfield, and you probably need it about now as the bump comes through. Juicy flies off the play, and Cash will have to recover back to the midfield line. On the catch, that's how in front of round 1, and that's how plays it perfectly.
And Cash, he did well to dodge the bump. You saw him jump over the bump, try to get the wave dash control. Team Liquid are just too good, and now Oski, no way, he gets that double, almost gets a touch on it, but that's precious time ticking away. As Moist are down by 2, and now hope slowly fading for Moist. Team Liquid, a really strong game. I think Spaceman, looking back at this one, everything really turned after that pause. Obviously, that the shot, the viewers at home couldn't really see, but the call for the pause came out early. All the players saw it, and so when you get that space, of course you're going to go for the shot. So not much of a controversy there, but from the optics of it, even just as a player, when you're going for that shot in free play and you're going to hit it, you're like, oh, that's cool, that's great. But then to turn around and give it up right away, give up that goal, and then also to give up a kickoff goal, that's got to sting for Moist.
Yeah, the call was before the shot even formulated, so it's never a question about that. But the momentum is the question, right? Like, pauses are tough. That's why you try to ice a team with a tactical timeout. That's why you have to be decisive with when you use those in a best-of-7 format, because you're trying to get the momentum to swing back. But Leaf, when it comes to momentum, when it comes to teams finding the right angle, the right rhythm, of course that's happening throughout the bracket really here. What do you got for us? What are the updates?
For some teams, yeah. Thanks. I was still doing some calculations on what the script was supposed to say before in that last one, and I figured out what I want to happen here. So I got BDS right now on match point, remember, with a win here. That's really good because that's a major clinch for them. K-Corp also fighting for a clinch to the major with a win over Guild, but it's actually tied 1-1 right now. K-Corp not having the easiest of journeys, even giving up 2 games to Solary before. I will say Luna Galaxy is up 5-1 on BDS right now. I just want to let you know.
Interesting.
And that is quite interesting. And also the K-Corp results. I mean, we're here, we're watching these games. Spaceman, Juicy. Ooh, there's still no clear, but that was one that got away from Liquid there. But, it's interesting not being able to watch those K-Corp games. You wonder how they're going so tight. Still, though, K-Corp, if they manage to get the wins, all is well. But you kind of expect K-Corp to have a bit of an easier go.
You do, but they've also kind of been a team as of late who have maybe struggled on Fridays. They've never faltered because of it, but they have certainly struggled like a phase in North America. But you also look at teams like BDS who are hitting stride at the right time, and Vitality who's just sitting comfortably and continuing to win everything. So very interesting top 3 mix we got going on in Europe. One of the more interesting, of course, regions across the globe when it comes to just the storylines that this region has. And I can't wait to see hopefully all 3 of those teams at the major. It's going to be a fun one. But if you're Liquid and or Moist, like, this weekend matters the most for all of you. Of course, the top 3 finish for Liquid, and they qualify for the event. And has a great rebound and recovery, but Juicy parks the bus and keeps this one out.
And there's a Chronic. A Chronic is so annoying to play against upfield. He can stay in the play longer. He can get those tips to prevent you from clearing it out. He's really making things difficult for Moist. And now Oski sees Atto. Atto off the ceiling. No way, he gets the double. Trying to leave that out. A Chronic dove in, and Oski will get up early for the challenge and back onto it. Flip reset, shut down. Oski trying to just keep the ball out of the hands of Moist. Joyo around 1. Oski gets 1 small pad, but will clear it out. Oski having a few back-to-back defensive plays that have been clutch for Team Liquid to slow down this Moist attack.
And how annoying is it to have to play Oski in that offensive third right on the goal line where he's getting 2 touches, winning the second touch, the rebound to set up for Team Liquid, another swing where opportunities are there, and Liquid are marching. A Chronic doing the same and holds the line, Octane in hand, back on the pass. A Chronic will cut in and works off with the respawn from Joyo. Numbers start to split here as Moist are throwing everything they have in the kitchen sink to try to get this ball out, but Atao is just too strong for the moment.
Juicy. I like what Juicy did there. Go up on the wall, take the space, force the defender off the ball, and then march that even further downfield. That was poised there from Juicy. Juicy just trying to get a little bit of breathing room on this Team Liquid defense. Juicy right behind him and gets the corner. Oh, no, doesn't get the corner boost steal. That leaves it for Atto. And now immediately that comes into effect. Oh my goodness! You cannot give Atto boost! Otherwise, he'll use it to destroy you!
You can't give him space either. Somebody, please, think of the game. Think of the legitimacy of the defense. Evades 2 on the pressure, the reset, the placement, top shelf, $1,000 a shot, and he pays it every single time. My goodness.
That is a shot that makes you just go, sheesh.
You have to play against that if you're Moist. It's not just the counterattacks, it's the Liquid aspect of Liquid.
Yeah, and I mean, when you say the Liquid aspect of Liquid, what that makes me think of is just the fact that any one of those players can make impact plays like that. That was an impact play from an impact player.
Well, you're going to need an impact play from Juicy, as he's the only one upfield. The reset goes nowhere. Cash trying to keep the play alive. Here comes Joyo. The Dominus, top bar, the demo that helps. And right off the crossbar to Juicy. The rebounds are here. Opportunities for sure. Interesting from the ceiling, but Liquid hold their horses, and for the moment, they have possession.
And they kept that horse on the goal line. And again, it's the patience on defense. You let one player challenge, let one stay down, and good comms and good rotations to not have two people jump. Very easy to send two in that situation. But in those situations where that has been a threat, Team Liquid keeping their composure. And now you can see Atto making things awkward on the goal line. Ball out to Oski. Oski going for the backboard, forcing all three to challenge. Atto around one, hits it off the post. Nobody's there for the rebound, but that was a shaky play there defensively. Moist getting out of that, not because they made the stop, but because the shot wasn't on target from Liquid.
And these are back passes that normally work for Moist. They just can't get anywhere. It's constant pressure from Liquid. The corner's deleted, the midfield is locked down, and these extra touches from Atto, from Oski, that keep Moist occupied. A busy defense is a defense without time, and they are losing it now. They need a goal, but Acronic wants to put this series away. Could it be a 3-0 for Liquid? Juicy from the sidewall, going to try to keep it going into the corner, and that will do it. A 3-0 indeed. Liquid, what a way to close it out.
Oh, they made it look easy. I'll be honest, Spaceman, Team Liquid made that look easy. That was a dominating performance. But really, the only goal of that game was the spectacular solo play from Atto. And it resulted from the left corner boost, which hopefully we'll see on the replay here. You know, there was a corner boost that was left up. Atto took it and just did work with it.
That's kind of the sentiment for this squad and really for this series, is the team does work. Like, they just find ways to break you down mechanically, whether it's the counterattacks. And really, it was Atto and Oski, the constant winning of the rebounds, the constant pressure from the ceiling, the second touches they were getting to force the commits on defense, to force the boost usage from Moist, to force Moist to stay busy on defense, that just relinquished so much pressure